guys, it's Bren. I'm back. I've missed you. I have a pretty big Bath & Body Works candle haul for you today. This is actually a culmination of 2 different hauls for me, and I have 10 different 3 wicks to talk about. Most of them are new. This is going to be kind of a haul and review because some of these, most of them actually, all of the new ones, I've already given at least 1 burn. So normally I would do like a haul video and then some more individualized reviews, but I just don't have the time. It was hard for me to find this time right now to film this haul. So this is gonna kind of be it, everything all about these candles, but always you can follow me on Instagram at Candles and Music for more information and further more in-depth and specific thoughts on these as I continue to burn them. You will notice that I'm back with a wall behind me instead of looking out at my candle shelf in my place. That is because if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I'm redoing my living room floors. And so everything is still a total disaster. The floors are down now, but the trim's not in. And so I still have my appliances like all over the place. And also there's an echo, and I hope that's not going to affect the sound quality of the video too bad. You can probably hear it because I can, but I don't have any of my like pillows or my area rug or anything. It's just really empty in here right now. But we're gonna go ahead and move forward anyway, so sorry. I'm gonna start with my probably favorite collection and definitely my favorite candle, so we're starting on a good note. This is pumpkin cookie dough. I love this one. I actually bought 3 of these with my first order because just based on what people were saying, I thought I would probably really like it, and it is online exclusive. So I was like, better to buy more and return some to the store than not buy enough. So I bought 3 thinking that would be enough. And then when I put in my second order online, I ordered 2 more. So I have 5, and these days that's a lot for me to buy of 1 candle. I think peach sugar cone, I ordered like 6 or something because I really liked that one. And before that, blueberry pie. I ordered way too many of those. But this one, I did go for 5 because I really, really like it. So the notes on pumpkin cookie dough are homemade cookie dough, creamy pumpkin, and cinnamon sugar. And then they all say with essential oils now. Okay, so I actually don't really get pumpkin. I mean, that's going to be a common theme in this video, as it is with Bath & Body Works every fall, where we're all saying, like, there's not actually pumpkin in this, or even pumpkin spice. They just put that pumpkin in the name to make it a fall candle. They do that a lot. But yeah, I'm not getting any pumpkin or even really, like, anything that you would necessarily pinpoint as pumpkin spice in this. But it's still a really, really, really good candle because it smells, well, obviously it's a bakery scent. To me, it smells kind of like a shortbread cookie. It's very buttery. So this is the one that I've burned so far, but I'm going to grab, I have a new unburned one sitting here to smell. And it's like sugar cookie dough. Very buttery. That's why I said shortbread. Sugar cookie dough. Perhaps a little bit of spice. You know how they say there's cinnamon in there, but it's a hint. It mostly just reminds me of sugar cookies, but like really, really good. And in the past, Bath & Body Works has done like cookie type scents, and their vanillas, their frosting scents. I remember, gosh, it was probably 2013, like SAS, they had a candle, and I don't remember the name of it, but it had chocolate chip cookies on the front. So if you know, put that in the comments. But I didn't love that one because I find there's usually something a little bit bitter sometimes about Bath & Body Works vanilla scents. This doesn't have that at all, though. This is just really, really yummy and good. I love it. I really love it. If you like just shortbread cookies, there's no like chocolate chip, even though they're in the picture. I'm not getting anything like that. It just reminds me of like a really buttery, good sugar cookie dough. So nothing pumpkin or really fall about it. You could probably burn it any time, but I really, really like it. So, okay. Let's move on to the next one. So next, let's talk about Dutch Apple Waffle. And right off the bat, I ordered 2 of these. And I like it, but I don't know if I love it. I'm definitely going to keep the one I've burned. I'm on the fence about if I want to return the other one or not. It's one of those situations where it's like, yeah, if this was back in the day, I definitely would have kept it, but they're getting really expensive now, and I don't know if I need it. And it's probably, for me, a situation where it's like, I have a lot of candles that are like this, so I don't know that I need, like, more of this one. But let me go ahead and read the notes. Warm buttermilk waffles, baked apple slices, and ground nutmeg. Now, first thing I thought of when I saw this candle, probably because it's the same wax color, and I think a lot of other people made that connection too, was Apple Pumpkin Pancakes from 2015, 14 or 15. No, it must have been 2015, where Cranberry Pumpkin is Pumpkin Spice Cheesecake, first appearance of that collection. And there was a candle called Apple Pumpkin Pancakes. It was green wax, and you know, just based on the name of this one, I automatically thought that sounds like it could be a repackage. It's not the same. That one, I remember it had a very distinct cheap maple syrup smell. It kind of smelled like maple syrup, but not like high quality, but more like, you know, Mrs. Butterworth's type of syrup. And I think this is better. This is actually better. But I'm not a big fan of maple, so that might be why. I do feel like there's a hint of like a syrup note here. I do think this one is aptly named, unlike a lot of these other ones, or a lot of their candles in general. I do think it kind of is reminiscent of like a waffle situation, and there's a little bit of apple in there, of course. But it's not enough maple that it turns me off in any way. Just kind of makes me think of a waffle. The bakery note is there for sure. First thing I did when I got this and actually opened it and smelled it was run over and grab Cider Lane. The apple in this is very similar to Cider Lane, and there's a little bit of that sweetness is a little bit like the caramel in Cider Lane as well. I think the difference is that this one has a bakery note. So if you're a fan of Cider Lane, but you're also a fan of bakery and you think you would like a Cider Lane with bakery, that's really what this is giving me. Because I have so many Cider Lane and I have so many caramel apple and I have a million other scents like that over there on the shelf, that's why I kind of think I might return the other one. But I do think this is a good scent. I think a lot of people are really going to like it. I do recommend it. It's nice. It's sweet for sure. Okay, next in this collection, I grabbed a pumpkin Snickerdoodle. And the notes are warm sugar cookies, fresh cinnamon, and fresh nutmeg. And of course, I, like many other people, figured this was a repackage of sugared Snickerdoodle. And I don't think it is, but it's like super similar. And there are some people that think it is a repackage and other people that don't. I think they're 90% the same, but it is a little different for me. I went ahead and I burned sugared Snickerdoodle again to kind of remind myself. Sugared Snickerdoodle, the candle that they put out usually in the winter time, it's coming out again this winter. It has a pumpkin pecan waffles base. So it has a really sweet base, and it's kind of like they added cinnamon and sugar to pumpkin pecan waffles. That's what I get from sugared Snickerdoodle. I don't get that pumpkin pecan waffles base in pumpkin Snickerdoodle. It's a little more light and a little less intense and a little less sweet, but it's still really sweet. It does smell like a Snickerdoodle cookie. It does not smell anything like pumpkin or pumpkin spice whatsoever, but it's kind of just a cinnamon and sugar scent. It reminds me a little bit of cinnamon sugar donut, somewhere between sugared Snickerdoodle and cinnamon sugar donut, but more towards the Snickerdoodle. Again, I think you could say it's 90% the same, but I don't think it's exactly the same. It's a little less intense. It's pretty good, but I like pumpkin cookie dough better, so I'm just going to stick with my one Snickerdoodle because I don't really need any more of that. All right, I also grabbed another warm apple pie. So the reason I got one of these is because I burned one over the summer, which was from last fall, and I really enjoyed it in the summer. This scent definitely could be year-round. In fact, they put it out in a 4th of July packaging too. It's very realistic, and my problem with this candle over the years has always been that it's too light. And I remember burning the very first version of it that ever came out, which was in a White Barn Core collection in a light red kind of glass. And I remember burning it and not getting any throw and returning it and trying a different batch and still not getting any throw. And then I remember the next time it came out, same thing, because it's like I want to like this candle so bad. I really love the scent, but it's just not throwing. And here's the thing. When I burned last year's, I really think it improved. And hopefully this one has too, because I've had a lot of other people share the same thought with me, that they do think that it has improved on strength over the years. It's still not super intense, and if you're looking for something like this, but intense and very strong, burn Berry Waffle Cone, because Berry Waffle Cone is essentially like very, very similar to warm apple pie, but like really throws and is really strong. You can potentially get a little bit of a berry note in that one, but otherwise they're remarkably similar, which is why when Berry Waffle Cone came out, I reviewed it as like, it's like warm apple pie, but actually strong. But warm apple pie has gotten better too, and sometimes you just want something a little bit less intense than Berry Waffle Cone, hence burning it over the summer. So I grabbed another one. It's yummy as always, so good. Notes are baked Granny Smith's apple, melted brown sugar, flaky homemade crust. This was actually the first time, I want to say, that we had that particular crust note that they have now used in sweet cherry pie, blueberry pie, and berry waffle cone, and of course this, but this was the first time they used that crust note, and it's a really good bakery crust note. It's very realistic. If you haven't tried warm apple pie, try it. In that collection, there were a lot of returning scents and repackages as well. One was Sugar Cherry Crisp. And so speaking of sweet cherry pie, it is a repackage, I heard, so I held off. I didn't buy any because I have a bunch of sweet cherry pie because I love that one too. I'm not surprised that it was a repackage at all because the Body Care Sugar Cherry Crisp, to me, smelled a lot like the sweet cherry pie candle. So the fact that the candle named for it is sweet cherry pie, it all made sense to me. But I do want to say I didn't do a video on the Body Care for this fall, but I have really fallen in love with Sugar Cherry Crisp. I like this a lot. I don't love the shower gel. Weirdly, the shower gel is kind of lighter and less fruity. It's usually the other way around. Like shower gels are fruitier, I think, than the lotion. But this shower gel is a little bit more like soft and floral, so I'm not that into it, but I love the lotion and the cream. So digging this for sure. And again, follow me on Instagram if you want more thoughts on other random things that I don't always have time to do videos on. So anyway, that wraps up that collection. We've got more. We've got more stuff to talk about. Let's go ahead and talk about Pumpkin Spice Latte next. Isn't this the cutest? A+ packaging on this one. I really like it. I don't like the whole collection. Like, I don't know, but this particular one is like the good one in the collection for me. So Pumpkin Spice Latte, I had already tried it in a single wick, and the thing about the single wick is it's like, it doesn't throw. It's too small, not very fragrant. Really had to like hover right over it to get anything from it. But this is the same. It's just bigger and it does throw much better and actually scent the room because it is a 3-wick, and that pretty much always happens. Some single wicks are strong enough that you can still get something from them. But in this case, the 3-wick is much better. So I'm happy to report that this one does throw. Now, when the single wick came out, right away on Instagram, I had said that it reminded me of Sweet Tiramisu, which is the same as Ciao Bella. That's the same candle. I've got it right here. Ciao Bella, Sweet Tiramisu. So we're talking about the same thing there. That it reminded me of that, but with more coffee. Perhaps like a mix of Sweet Tiramisu with Paris Cafe in it, or their general coffee scent, whatever they call it at that moment. Paris Cafe is what they have called it many times before. And there were some people that were back and forth about it, and plenty of people who said, no, it's just Sweet Tiramisu, 100% repackaged. So I was like, okay, well, you know, it's hard to compare a single wick to a 3-wick. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm standing by my opinion. Now that I have this 3-wick, I fully enforce what I previously said. I do think that it is like Sweet Tiramisu, but more coffee, and I burned it, and I burned Sweet Tiramisu, and yes, that is definitely my conclusion. It smells a lot like everything about Sweet Tiramisu, but just like much more of a coffee scent. Again, like Paris Cafe. Now, Paris Cafe is overpowering and like very strong, so I'm not saying it's a 50-50 mix, but it's definitely way more coffee, the pumpkin spice latte. So let me know what you think if you've burned all 3 of those candles, you know, if you agree or not. Maybe you don't. That's cool. We don't have to agree, but I'm very adamant about the fact that these are not exactly the same. Similar, yes. Here's the thing about pumpkin spice latte that is the most disappointing though. While I think it is a good scent, there is nothing pumpkin about it. Just like with a lot of these. Nothing pumpkin about it at all, and nothing pumpkin spice. I mean, you'd think it's called pumpkin spice latte, that it would smell a little bit like a pumpkin spice latte, and you'd get some like cinnamon or nutmeg or something in there, but nope, no clove, nothing. Notes, forgot the notes. I think I've been forgetting to read some of these notes. Maybe not. Okay. My bad if I have. Fresh espresso, pumpkin pie spice, that's a lie, whipped cream, and a sprinkling of cinnamon sugar. Man, I wish there was pumpkin pie spice in this. I really do. There is none. It just smells like a sweet dessert coffee scent, which is good, but the name is misleading. But it's very cute. Very cute. All right. Next up, let's talk about toasted coconut mocha. So I also had to grab a candle for comparison's sake here because we'll compare it to toasted coconut s'mores. Only one word difference in the name, so I know a lot of people were wondering what is the difference between these. There is a difference. Toasted coconut mocha is steamed milk latte, toasted coconut shavings, and mini marshmallows. The notes on toasted coconut s'mores are gooey marshmallow, toasted coconut, milk chocolate, and golden graham crackers. Okay, my thoughts on the differences. The main one is that toasted coconut s'mores is sweeter. Lighter and sweeter. And the chocolate note doesn't really stand out that much in toasted coconut s'mores. It's more of a sweet, coconutty, little bit of a graham cracker kind of there situation, but definitely a little lighter and sweeter. And then with toasted coconut mocha, to me, it smells like dark chocolate for sure, because this one is less sweet. I hate to just say that one's sweeter and this one's less sweet. I'm saying the same thing, but you get my point. Because it smells like dark chocolate. And then the coconut that's in there is kind of like what I always call like a woody coconut. Like it doesn't remind me of like sweet coconut shavings that you would buy in like the bakery section, but more of like an authentic, not necessarily edible, but just a woody type of coconut with that dark chocolate. So kind of like a Mounds bar, but even less sweet than that. I can't stress enough that this smells like bitter dark chocolate. So there's definitely a difference, but there are a lot of similarities as well. And I think the most basic difference is just in the level of sweetness that you get from them and the fact that you get way more chocolate, but again, dark chocolate in the toasted coconut mocha than you get in the s'mores candle. So I still like toasted coconut mocha. I burned it a couple times. It throws really well. But I like the s'mores one better. And I have a few of those, so that's why this one won't be a repackage for me, but I'm going to keep this one. If you like a dark chocolate and you like coconut, I say go for it. Not packaging, fine. It's fine. That's how I feel about that one. Okay, now let's talk about one that I am going to return. This one's going back to the store for sure, and that's why I have not burned it yet. Pumpkin Dulce de Leche. I always want to say Dulce, but I think it's Dulce.
Dulce de leche. Dulce de leche.
Dulce de leche. So I knew that this one was going to be a caramel heavy one, and I kind of had a feeling I might end up returning it, but again, because it's online only, the only way I could smell it was to order it, and as soon as I opened it up, I was like, yeah, nope, I can't. This one is like super, super crazy sweet. The notes are warm spun caramel, browned pumpkin butter, and golden crystallized sugar. I don't get any pumpkin in this at all. I don't really get any spice. I don't get anything but sickening sweet caramel. Oh my gosh. Maybe if you're a caramel person, you're into caramel candles, you're a caramel connoisseur, then you could pick out these little minute differences, but this just smells to me like their salted caramel candle or like, you know, pick any of their caramel candles. It's so, so sweet. It's probably not as sweet as like caramel pumpkin swirl, which really is like, oh my God, but it is definitely just like a sweet caramel. All I can say is I don't think there's any pumpkin spice in it or anything like that, but it is too sweet for me, so that one's going in the return pile. Okay, so now let's move on to the next collection. I've got the white balsam and vanilla and the white apple Oakwood, and this one right here, white pumpkin, was also in this little mini collection, and these are really pretty. Definitely. And I feel like they're sort of edging towards winter with this collection a little bit because there's some crossover here. Now, we have had in the past vanilla balsam. Was it vanilla balsam it was called? Anyway, you would figure this is the same as that, right? I don't know. Somebody, if you know, put it in the comments. Is white balsam and vanilla the same as vanilla balsam from years past? Because I never burned that one. I never gave it a try. I've only recently been starting to come around to pine scents and like trying them out. So I thought I would give this a try because I'm warming up to pine scents. I like vanilla, but I don't know if it's the same as vanilla balsam. I would be really hard pressed to believe there's a difference between white balsam and vanilla balsam. Like, what would be different about it? But I don't really know. I can't confirm. But the notes on this one are fresh white pine, chilled forest air, and warm vanilla musk. Here's my thing about it. I have burned it a couple times. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed because there's no vanilla coming through, like, at all. I think before I had burned it, I could smell a little bit of vanilla, but like barely. It's mostly just like balsam, like their balsam candle, which I'm not crazy about. It's just like too much pine. But if I'm going to burn pine, I like their evergreen candle more. I guess maybe I'm just not a balsam person. But I really was looking forward to a true mix of like vanilla and pine. But the thing is, pine is, stronger and overpowering, so you have to put more vanilla in it. And to me, this is weird. It's weird that they would make a pine or balsam candle and then just put vanilla with it, but not enough that you can really smell it, because it's gonna, for people who hate vanilla, like my mom, who can pick it out of anything, they're gonna be turned off by this because they don't like vanilla. And they're probably gonna be able to smell a little bit of it in there because, they don't like it. Or they would just prefer to buy like fresh balsam, right? But people who buy this because they like vanilla, like, put more vanilla in it. That's why people are buying it, right? Like, the fact that there's just this minuscule hint of vanilla that I cannot smell when it's burning whatsoever. I just am like, why? Like they need to make it more 50-50 or something. I might have really liked this if it was truly like very vanilla with like a little pine, but I'm just not getting vanilla. I was just getting nothing but pine, and maybe it's just that I'm not a fan of balsam in particular, but it smelled kind of bitter to me. I don't know. I wanted to like it. Like I said, it's pretty. Maybe if I smelled this right next to the plain old fresh balsam, I'd be able to say, but there's nothing in this that's even giving me vanilla anymore at all now that I've burned it. So I'm sad. But as much as I hate to burn and return, I don't do it very often, only if I'm really disappointed in something. I'm going to have to burn and return that one, which means I already burned it and I'm going to still return it. And I also never used to do that until the candles got more expensive. And now it's like, well, can't afford to keep it. White Apple Oakwood. The last two candles in this haul here are both for my mom. So neither one is for me. I haven't burned them, but I'll do a cold sniff review before I give them to her. And so this is White Apple Oakwood. She wanted to try this one. The notes are bright white apple, fresh bergamot, and birchwood. And so this one, definitely mostly apple, very apple forward. And when I pulled this out of the package and I smelled it, I went over to my shelf and I grabbed heirloom apple. The version of heirloom apple that has wraparound leaves. Actually, let me grab it. All right, this one here, this version of heirloom apple, because there's been many. This is from 2016. Don't get excited. They're not the same or anything, but the apple note is the same. Heirloom apple is a lot more fruity because it also has like pear in it and all this other stuff. That was a good one. That's the only one I have of that. But I do feel like the apple is the same. But in White Apple Oakwood, you do get something a little bit perfumey. I guess maybe that's the bergamot. It's a little bit perfumey, maybe a little bit kind of musky. And there is a little bit of an earthy note, but essentially it's mostly apple and those other things just kind of complement it. But the apple, it's similar to maybe the green apple candle as well, the one that just came out when Strawberry Pound Cake came out. I forget what the full name of that one was, and those candles are all packed up right now. But it's just a very kind of light and fresh apple, little bit sweet, not too intense. Maybe like, more like a Golden Delicious or something that's a sweeter apple, but like is just really kind of light and fruity. And then again, this candle's like a little bit perfumey on top of that. So it's not really my thing. And I don't know if it's going to be my mom's thing or not. She hasn't smelled it yet. I'm going to bring it to her like after this. So we'll see. But if she has any thoughts on it after burning it, you know, stay tuned to my Instagram because I'll let you know. And then also a fall farmhouse. This is also for her. This is her second one. I got her one with the first order, and she's like, I forgot how much I like that. And so we grabbed another one for her. And this says spiced pumpkin, which I don't get. Forest pine branch, fresh fall air, whatever that smells like. And we've both kind of concluded that it's very similar to cinnamon pine cone in the cinnamon and the pine note, but then there's also just like a very earthy tone to it as well. It's kind of like cinnamon pine cone with a bunch of like wood and moss and that earthy feel to it. That's not really my thing. I'd rather burn just cinnamon pine cone, but my mom really likes this one. It's not bad. It's a little bit addicting. Like I sniff it and then I put it down and then I want to sniff it again. So that's a pretty good one. All right. That's everything. I hope you enjoyed the haul. I missed filming. I've missed this. I enjoyed doing this here and there. But yeah, I definitely don't have the time that I used to have for it, but it's fun to pop in and say hi. I need something to cheer me up because this is supposed to be Riot Fest weekend. I'm supposed to be at Riot Fest right now, but it feels trivial to be sad about that, but I'm a little bummed. But to all my viewers on the West Coast, please stay safe. I wish you all the best. I'm thinking about you every day. Every morning I listen to news podcasts and just, it's crazy. It's crazy what's going on in this world right now. But my thoughts are with everybody out that way and in a bunch of other places in America right now. So, all right, I will sign off with that. Again, check my Instagram out for follow-up thoughts on these candles as I continue to burn them and finish them up. If I have anything else to add, I will throw it there. And until next time, thanks for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.